Hello everyone and welcome back to another AFK journey video. In this video we're going over the patch notes for 1.3.1, which are the patch notes for the new season 3 Chains of Eternity. These are on the Vietnam server right now because the Vietnam server is going to be getting the update as of right now at 7 AM UTC time, January 4th, which is around about under maybe 20 hours from right now or something. So we're going to be going through the major points. There are a lot of things mentioned in these patch notes, but a lot of them, in my opinion, are not too important. There are some really important points, which I want to definitely talk about at least first in this video, and that is what we're going to be going through. Okay, and by the way, this update has been delayed. It was supposed to be January 3rd, however, it has been delayed to the January 4th for the start of the new season. Okay, so the new Celestial Heroes, Elijah and Lila, and I realized I was pronouncing it wrong after watching the trailer, but I'm going to pronounce it this way from now on. The Celestial Twins, they're going to be available on 15th of January at a reset time, midnight UTC. And then you will actually be able to see the full skills with the multipliers. As of right now, we know the skill description, we don't know the hero focus, we don't know the enhanced force, those were not shared in the trailer, and we don't know the multipliers of their skills, and all of these are really important, but of course they will be available from the Stargaze Station and the guild store. Okay, now I'm going to skip a lot of this. There is going to be earlier access to the new season. Only server needs to be 35 days old rather than 40 days old. Apart from this, there is one major point over here. Adding Chains of Eternity Season Dream Realm, the following bosses will be removed. 4 bosses are going to be removed: Skyclops, Necrodrake, King Croaker, and Alpha Bear. And when I first saw this, I was like, okay, this is a nerf to Harak, because there are 2 key bosses here where Harak dominates: Skyclops and Necrodrake. In these teams, the Harak teams are getting 20 billion damage above the non-Harak teams. And now, because they both are being removed, I was like, okay, this is a nerf to Harak. Harak is not going to have as much usefulness as in this current season. However, that in mind, 2 other bosses where Harak was bad, like King Croak and Alpha Bear, Harak was not used. Those are also being removed. So in the end, it kind of does balance out, but I mean, I feel like this is overall kind of a weakening, nerf of Harak, in my opinion. Now, the new bosses will be introduced. We don't know the skills of pretty much any of them. Elucia, the Unveiler, I don't even know who that hero is. Thalassa, we have in the Ravage Realm. Plague Creeper, we had Primal Lord, Craze Shellbrew, Primal Lord. Out of these, I do think Harak is going to be good for Plague Creeper, because it has summoning mechanics, and I think it would probably be good for Thalassa. He was really good in Thalassa Aurora Squad, and when we're talking about endless bosses, those level of stats, Harak will probably be dominating there as well. So I do feel like both of those bosses, Harak is going to really shine. So overall, Harak is still going to be good, but he is losing out on 2 bosses where he was really good in. So that is, it kind of does balance out in the end. There's going to be a minor redesign of the Dura Trials. There's going to be another higher difficulty where you can get one-time rewards, but I don't consider that too important. Okay, here's the other important point. There are going to be exclusive equipment reset, not only for the season settlement rewards, which we're going to be getting at the end of the season rewards, but also you will be able to purchase some from the season store, as you can see here, but I feel like it'll probably be pretty overpriced. And then also you can get some from Season Handbook Milestone rewards, so that is cool. There are going to be 2 forms of exclusive equipment reset. One is going to be a full reset from wherever it's at all the way down to 0. And one is going to be only a Twilight Essence reset from plus 25 down to plus 16. Now, the Twilight Essence reset, I feel like, is not very valuable. It could be because it can, refund you Twilight Essences, which you can use to evenly level up your heroes. And there is a reason for this, why this is important. And we're going to talk about that a bit later, or when we come to it, but in general, the temporal essences are really what you want when you reset, and you would not be getting any of them if you're using this only Twilight Essence reset. Okay, and for the early hero optimization, Mirael and Walker are going to have a level 2 enhanced force skill. So this is what was basically implied when we got that infographic that was coming out, and they say in the future Soren, Atalanta, Citrana, and Salazar are going to have upgrades later on, but I don't know if it will be this season or future seasons. But Mirael and Walker, basically, these are 2 heroes maybe you want to keep on your wish list, maybe buy from the Dream Realm store, so that when you get their level 2 enhanced force, which is basically an upgrade to their Supreme Plus ability, maybe they will actually be a little bit meta. So that will be important for you to keep them and try to recruit for them. There's going to be timeless recruitment. I don't fully understand this. It says the featured heroes are the previously released heroes you have missed out on. Brackets, you did not log in during the heroes raid-up recruitment since character creation. So, I mean, it sounds like it would have to be like you went inactive for like weeks at a time, and then you came back and you completely missed out on a raid-up recruitment. Then maybe you'll be able to have another chance at recruiting it. But for like people who are logging in daily, I don't think you're gonna have another chance at recruiting a hero from this season. So yeah, but if you want to recruit one and you were inactive, Sonya is the one I say, because she is really good for Dream Realm. I consider her a must pull type status. Okay, here we go. This is really big, and there's one thing which I feel like is a bit controversial, and honestly I'm not a huge fan of. Now the first one I'm a fan of, increasing the stat boost for enhancement levels plus 16 to plus 20, overall offering higher overall stats for exclusive equipment within the plus 16 to plus 25 range. And I really like it because from the wording here, basically you're going to be getting the maximum value when you upgrade from plus 16 to plus 20. You do not need to take a hero to plus 25. It sounds like from plus 20 to plus 25, you're going to be gaining exactly the same amount of stats you were getting before, which is only 2.5%. But for example, from plus 16 to plus 20, we don't know what type of stat boost you're going to get. Like, it could be double, it could be 5%, could be even more than that. And whatever it is, this is going to make it much more of a priority for you to level up all of your heroes to plus 20 before even thinking about taking anything to plus 25. I am at least happy that they, for example, didn't say, okay, we're increasing all of the levels, like increasing the stat boost all the way up to plus 25, because that's really out of reach. Like, getting a lot of heroes at plus 25 for a lot of players is out of reach. However, getting to plus 20, like, you should have enough Twilight Essences to do that whenever you have enough temporals to take a new hero to plus 15. So overall, I am a fan of this upgrade, and I think that the focus now, the strategy will be just level up all of your heroes to plus 20, make that your #1 priority. And do not really worry about the plus 25 upgrade, because also if there's a higher proportional stat increase up to plus 20, then the value from plus 20 to plus 25 goes even down, like as a percentage terms, compared to how much you're getting by taking hero from 0 all the way to plus 20. But the problem with this is it is going to really give a big advantage to players who have, for example, a lot of plus 15 exclusive equipment heroes. So like high spenders with a lot of temporal essences, they will be able to immediately take any hero they want, basically up to plus 20, and they're going to have a massive stat gain compared to you only at plus 10. A higher stat gain than even before, because they're going to get more value from this 16 to 20 upgrade. Now here is a controversial thing. This is the thing, honestly, I'm not a fan of. Enhancing the rivalry stats of Paragon heroes, check in-game descriptions for details. So, and then let's carry on. Adding 2 new rivalry stats, Intimidation and Inspiration for Paragon heroes, check in-game description for details. What it sounds like to me is there are going to be 2 increases. One is going to be an overall enhancement of the rivalry stats, which are the energy on hit, the resiliency, like resisting debuffs of enemies, and then even the damage boost, the damage reduction. All of these sound like they're going to be enhanced for Paragon heroes. At least one good thing is it's only rivalry stats. At least they're not increasing like the stat gain, for example, in all areas of the game, because the stat gain you get for Paragon upgrades is around 2.5% of your stats across the board. That is not going to be increased by this. This is only the rivalry stats. But the thing is, it's going to make the Paragon heroes even more dominant in PvP. For Arena, Supreme Arena. Like, right now, I felt like it was a pretty good balance. Like, for example, like the Paragon 4 heroes with really solid defenses, you're not going to be able to break through. But if someone has like kind of a weak-looking Paragon 4 defense, not like the optimal arrangement, then you're able to break through it even with Paragon 1, Paragon 2 heroes. I like that. I think that adds strategy into the game. It adds like... It makes it... It was really, in my opinion, it was a good balance. What I'm worried about is it's just like, okay, well, you got Paragon 4 heroes, now you should just be able to beat everyone, even if your formation is weaker. I don't like that. I feel like that makes it a bit too much of an edge to the Paragon upgrades, and I feel like it reduces the competitiveness. And for example, like we're playing on the high spender account that you've seen in a lot of videos. No one can beat my Supreme Arena defense. Like, we are trying to run the optimal teams, but like, if we get an even bigger enhancement for PvP from Paragon upgrades, it's just going to be even more impossible. Like, already the people with the Paragon 4 heroes, they're untouchable, almost, if they have a good defense. So like, why do we have to get an even bigger upgrade it kind of also will make them even more untouchable. And like, because when you have all Paragon 4 heroes and no one is able to beat you, I feel like you lose enjoyment even in PvP, because you can't even attack anyone in Supreme Arena. No one attacks you, or they attack you and you just fail all the time. It isn't even that exciting. Anyway, and then the other thing, we're getting more rivalry stats. Intimidation sounds like it's going to be some sort of debuff onto the enemy team for your Paragon Ascensions, which is going to make them even more overpowered. And Inspiration sounds like a buff for your allies if you're a higher Paragon tier. It seems, I don't understand this. Like, I guess they just really want to push, like, making you feel like you will always win with your Paragon Ascensions if they're more than the opponent. But I don't know. I feel like it was pretty well balanced currently. I don't understand this, honestly. You guys can share your thoughts in the comment section, but I am honestly not a fan of this. Adding the skip battle feature for certain modes such as Honor Duel, that is good. Definitely a fan of that, because everyone has wanted this for a long time. This is one of the reasons I don't do Honor Duel. You have to sit through each and every match, and it gets really boring. But I'm glad they're doing this. Adding a new arena map to replace Arena V Special, so no more instant cast energy tiles, so Tassi is going to be less, but you know, Tassi is good in stall teams, even on non-energy tiles, like just in a full stall team. That's what I'm running, like Taylene, Tassi, Damien, Lily May Fresto. So she doesn't even need the Arena V special map, to be honest. And apart from this, adding illustrations and skill descriptions to indicate the frontmost enemy's position. We need the fix onto Bonnie, because I have watched it back, I have seen it. When she targets a rearmost enemy, it's actually not the true rearmost. It is the previously considered rearmost. So that needs a recut, like that needs a fix in my opinion. Reducing the separate stamina counts for each hero in battle drills with a unified stamina system, that is good, because it was really annoying having like some heroes like 39 stamina, you can't do exactly 2 attacks, and it was just getting really confusing. And increasing friend limit up to 100, that is cool. Like always nice to have more friends. And plot related battles, season faction talents can be used in world battles. Okay, now there are some changes to the mechanics of the Dream Realm bosses, not huge. Basically, Snowstomper Silent Blizzard, which will cause enemies to not be able to cast their skills, basically silencing them. It will ignore enemies who are unaffected or invincible. For example, Shakira, who is unaffected or invincible, like Lily Main or Rainstorm Ballet. It will ignore them, and it will make, like, for example, it should reduce the RNG needed to get a good score in Snowstomper. Okay? That is basically the change. For Crystal Beetle, basically when you did damage to him, he increased his energy on hit, boosted more, like based on how much damage you did to him. And so then his skill casting frequency and his flying times and everything would change slightly. And that is why people like were even having better results removing sorcery charms from their Fresto and replacing it with like a broken rainbow set. But now what has happened is they are increasing the Crystal Beetle's energy recovery rate overall, so it will just have a higher base rate, but it will not be at all affected by the damage you are dealing to him, because they have increased this, but he will no longer recover energy on hit, because previously he would recover energy on hit. And now it will have a predictable, like, casting of all skills and the flying. It will be exactly the same time, no matter how much damage you deal, but he will have a higher energy recovery rate to make up for this fact. Apart from that, I mean, these are just some minor changes. I don't think there's anything too game-changing here. And that is pretty much it. Enlightening Spell will take effect immediately now. I'd never noticed it, but apparently you could be interrupted by control effects at the start of the battle, but yeah. Okay guys, so let me know what you think about these patch notes. Overall, it is exciting news. I'm really excited to see the new Dream Realm bosses, definitely. But like I've told you guys, I'm a fan of all of these changes. Even the plus 20, powering up the value of plus 20, I don't think it's terrible. But like I mentioned, I am a little bit worried about it, because it is giving the people with more plus 15 heroes a big advantage in terms of stats, because they're going to be able to get pretty much every hero they want to plus 20, whereas free-to-play life spenders cannot get that many heroes to plus 20. The other problem is a Paragon buff. That is, in my opinion, unnecessary, but you guys can let me know what you think. I'll hopefully see you guys in the next video, and until then, everyone, peace out for now, and thank you for watching.